Well, I want to say I was wrong about this one. I thought DeMar DeRozan had worked himself out of the MVP conversation for good following the injury to Zach LaVine. DeMar DeRozan and the Chicago Bulls, they looked awful. So DeMar has done something that you rarely ever see done. DeMar started the year off playing really good basketball, then kind of worked himself out of the MVP conversation, and is now working himself back in it, and then kind of worked himself out of it, and then kind of working himself back in it. He's did this like 4 or 5 times this year already, which is working himself in and out of the MVP conversation because he goes through unreal hot and cold stints. The Bulls have had a couple of bad blowout losses this year, and it pretty much left me like, yeah, that can't be an MVP. The way that team looked, that's not how an MVP on a team should allow his team to go out. But I think I figured it out now. When Zach LaVine is on the court, it is clear as day this season that DeMar DeRozan is the Chicago Bulls closer. When Zach LaVine is also on the court, DeMar DeRozan is an MVP. That's it. That is it. As long as LaVine is playing basketball for the Chicago Bulls, DeMar DeRozan has a chance at MVP this year for the Chicago. That's what I think. He needs LaVine to be there. Now, here's the problem with that. LaVine's an all-star. That kind of goes against the normal constructs of what an MVP is. Look at the other 3 candidates in the conversation. Nikola Jokic, Joel Embiid, and for me, I got Giannis Antetokounmpo and Chris Paul. But Chris is going to obviously fall out of it now, so let's just use Giannis, Embiid, and Jokic, and some people have Steph in it. I don't. Jokic and Embiid have literally had to put their team on their backs the entire year. You know, Jokic ain't had Murray the whole season. Michael Porter Jr. went down early in the season. Look at what Embiid has had to deal with in Philadelphia this year. No excuses. Just went out and win. Now, Doc Rivers and Mike Malone are both really good basketball coaches, but I don't want to take anything away from what Embiid and Jokic have done. And I do believe one of those 2 gentlemen will win it. I actually have Jokic as the front runner. Some people will have Embiid as it. I think Embiid's going to backpedal a little bit with James Harden coming into the fold. I'm not saying Philadelphia will backpedal as a team. I'm saying Embiid's numbers will come backwards a little bit with Harden now playing. In Philadelphia, he does a lot of isolation ball, so Embiid won't get assists off Harden, and Harden's going to take some of them shots away from the big fella, which I'm sure Embiid's fine with as long as he's able to win. Now, that leads us back to DeRozan. He feels like an MVP. He's having a great year, scoring over 35 in 7, 8 straight games. That's unreal. That's Michael Jordan territory. Heck, as a matter of fact, Mike ain't even did that. That's more than Wilt Chamberlain. But that stuff that Mike would do, like this 35, back-to-back games, like he's doing it, leading that Chicago's team, and he's having an incredible run. He feels like an MVP. His game feels like it. He can dunk on you. That mid-range game is unbelievable right now. I'm wondering, though, can he take the lead again? Because, like, Jokic and Embiid haven't had any fall-offs. DeRozan's had a couple fall-offs in the season. But he's been great. Many could argue that DeRozan's high has been higher than anybody else's this year. You could argue that. But Jokic and Embiid just remain consistent every night, pretty much. Pretty much every night. So where do you go? Do you go with what you've seen, the best looking guy this year? Or do you go with what's there every night and has to do it every night for their team to be successful?